On this episode of the Neutral Wisdom podcast, host Robert Shirley discusses understanding the differences between men and women and is joined by a panel of warlocks to answer listener questions. This is the Neutral Wisdom podcast, a podcast dedicated to passing on knowledge and experience from a satanic perspective, with your host, Robert Shirley.
Greetings and welcome to the Neutral Wisdom Podcast. I'm your host, Robert Shirley, and today is the first of a two-part episode on the differences between men and women. On this particular episode, I've assembled a panel of warlocks, and I'm going to hit them with an Ask Me Anything list of questions submitted by you, the listeners. I'm not sure if this is going to be informative, silly, or downright terrifying, but hey, nothing ventured, nothing gained, right? I did do an interview with a few satanic witches, but unfortunately the audio on that one didn't turn out very well. So if you're a satanic witch and would like to participate in a part 2 of this episode, let me know. But please wait until you hear what the gents have to say before making up your mind. Please keep in mind that I'm about as old school as it gets and still refer to the differences between men and women. It's the way I'm wired and mean no offense to anyone out there. The differences in understanding to which I refer can apply to all sexes, genders, identities, etc. See, I'm not even sure I covered all the bases here with those words. So, whether you're in a cis relationship or a same-sex relationship or looking to attract a person of any type, I think this all applies. So, even as a well-practiced satanic gentleman, what I don't know about women could fill a book. Hey, there's an idea. For that matter, I don't know a whole lot about men either, other than the fact that I can't stand a majority of them. But that doesn't mean I can't learn. We never stop learning, or at least we shouldn't. In fact, if you truly want to find out what you don't know, just get married. That was the point where I discovered that I don't know anything about anything and that everything I thought I knew was wrong. Just ask my wife. But don't tell her I sent you. I've become rather attached to my testicles, and for the moment they are quite attached to me, and we would both like to keep it that way. I'm looking forward to getting to today's panel, so I'm going to keep this preamble short. Today's essay outlines my own experiences and understanding with the opposite sex over my lifetime and is titled, Everything You Ever Wanted to Know About. Why is the opposite sex such a mystery? So many questions. A strange way to start off an essay, I know, but it seems to be the most logical place to begin. When it comes to the opposite sex, there's so much we don't know about each other. Even after being married for 25 years, there are still things I don't know about Ms. Wiz. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing is yet to be determined. Everything I do know comes from years of experience and a lot of mistakes. I mean a lot of mistakes. In fact, I'm so used to being incorrect that when I actually present a statement Ms. Wiz agrees with, we go out to dinner to celebrate. I guess the one thing I've gotten very good at over our marriage is admitting when I'm wrong. It happens so often, I just got used to it. But there's so much more I don't know, and I have questions, damn it! But I think that for the purpose of this essay, I'll save my own questions for the end and take a look at why I'm so confused. Growing up, I was about as typical a young feller as you would expect. I suppose my questions about females started in about kindergarten when I had a redheaded girl bully me on the school bus. She was so mean. And now that I totally have a thing for redheads, I assume this was my erotic crystallization inertia, or ECI. I don't think she was mean to me because she was a girl. I was probably just easy to pick on. I never really saw girls as icky, but quite the opposite, actually. I enjoyed the games of chase the girls, chase the boys at recess in elementary school. In 3rd grade, I once kissed a girl's cheek on the school bus, and made her cry, and got hauled into the principal's office with my parents and her parents. I didn't understand the concept of boundaries at that time, I guess. But at the time, wasn't she supposed to like that? I mean, that's what I saw on TV and between adults, although not my own parents. Like most young boys, I didn't see girls in that way. I considered some of the girls in my class to be pretty, but going out with someone was not in the cards, at least not at that point. Puberty. Could we please just skip this section? To this day, I still get the willies when I have to go into a junior high school. I had some of the worst times of my life there. But that's the time where even more questions began to form. We all start to come into ourselves, as it were, and begin to see who we are and who we will become. New friends are made, old friendships fall apart. Kids split off into socially classified cliques, which can be exclusive clubs. To really age myself, our school had the headbangers, who listened to heavy metal and hung around the smoking doors at school, and the preppies, who wore nice clothes and were better than you. My group was that I didn't have one at all. I spent as little time at school as possible. I flew under the radar and had all of my friends at outside activities. 3 o'clock hit and I was gone. No extracurricular activities, no dances, no nothing from this kid. I didn't even attend my high school graduation, but that's a topic for a different show. But that didn't stop the progression of hormones and puberty. Of course, I notice girls in a different way now. I would have loved to talk to them and maybe even had a girlfriend, but being socially awkward and insecure largely prevented that. And it was also at this time in my life that I discovered that sweatpants are not the optimal teen wear. I guess there's no need to explain what happens to a 14-year-old cisgendered male in sweatpants. Everything from just sitting in math class to simply catching a stiff breeze, the wrong way, resulted in the old textbook cover-up. It also didn't help that at that time, magazines, in particular the bodybuilding magazines I read, always emphasized that women wanted a Herculean physique, and you were nothing without one. Articles and advertisements geared towards building your body and getting all the babes. Needless to say, I didn't score any babes, although I developed a pretty substantial bench press. But on the other side, all of the girls' teen mags showcased the brat pack with headlines like, Emilio Estevez, what he really looks for in a girl. It was the 1980s, people. Look it up. So what do women really want? Is it Arnold Schwarzenegger or Emilio Estevez? I still have no idea. I didn't actually have a girlfriend until I was 17 years old. Yeah, I was a bit of a late bloomer. And with all of that came the beginning of a long list of mistakes I would make in relationships. But again, that's another essay. For me, early adulthood was really about trying to get laid. There, I said it, because that's what we did. We went to the local bars and stood there looking cool, all in the hopes of attracting someone, either as a one-night stand or as a potential girlfriend. Granted, we still had no idea what we were doing and what 20-year-old does. What we did see was all the ladies being taken with the long-haired rocker types, especially in the clubs where we hung out. I was able to approach a woman and have a conversation, but she would ditch me in a heartbeat for some skinny Bon Jovi lookalike in acid-wash jeans. Again, 80s. Look it up. Of course, rather than trying to figure out why I wasn't being successful, I just thought, bitch, and moved on to the next one. The above situations may have been influenced by a substantial amount of liquid courage. I can neither confirm nor deny any truth to this. As I became more mature, a highly subjective term if ever there was one, I became more successful with the ladies. But there were still things I didn't understand. The majority of these came from the stupidity of youth and the getting to know you phase. When it comes to marriage, admittedly, I'm still on my practice marriage. Ms. Wiz will kill me if she hears that. But it's through our long-term relationship that I've realized there are so many mysteries about women, most of which is never going to be up to me to solve. If I were to put some of those specific questions here, I think I would like to include the following. Why does it take you so long to get ready to go anywhere? Why do you lose more hair during a single shower than I've ever had in my entire life? And why do you pick it up from the tub and store it on the wall? Why can't you keep a story simple without going off on 80 different tangents? Do you actually eat toilet paper? Is that why we never seem to have any? Okay, so menopause. What the actual fuck? Why isn't it enough to just do things for you because you asked me to? That I need to want to do it without you having to ask? And for the record, I don't think these questions only apply to Ms. Wiz. Because again, I like my testicles right where they are, thanks. For the majority of this essay, I've been speaking in general terms about what I don't know about women. And believe me, what I don't know could fill multiple volumes of books. I may not understand women. I may not understand Ms. Wiz. I may not understand 20-year-old little Wiz. And as frustrating as that can sometimes be, it's still a hell of a lot of fun. But as a Satanist, the one thing I do understand is myself. I'm the one who chooses how to deal with those things I don't understand. Sometimes I can get upset, especially if it's 95 degrees outside and Ms. Wiz has left me waiting in the car while she just runs in for a few things. But most times we're able to have a good laugh about things. Since I'm the old married guy now, my misunderstandings about females are more entertainment than frustration these days. I do not envy the younger guys who are just setting out on this journey. They have a lot to figure out, but the key is to realize that we will never figure it out. Just sit back and enjoy the ride. And if there's something you truly want the answer to, just ask, what's the worst thing that can happen? And I promise to come see you in the hospital when you finally wake up. Let's pause here. When we come back, we're joined by the panel of warlocks for an Ask Me Anything. Everything you ever wanted to know about a warlock, but were afraid to ask right after this. Stay tuned.
You are listening to the Neutral Wisdom Podcast. For comments, questions or suggestions, email us at information@neutralwisdom.ca.
The Blues Diabolic Podcast, a regular indulgence in the devil's music. Join your host, Fat Max, in a journey into the blues, the artists, the sounds, and the history of this fascinating music, from its humble beginnings right up to present-day legends. Because it has been said that the devil has the best tune. The Blues Diabolic Podcast on Radio Free Satan. Hail the blues and hail Satan.
And welcome back to the Neutral Wisdom Podcast. And today we have a panel of the manliest men I have ever had the pleasure of hosting on this show. These fellas are here to answer listener questions about man stuff. And I'm a little intimidated by the sheer machismo of these dudes. So say hello to COS Reverend Robert Luthold. No stranger to this show, Robert obviously has a thing for self-torture, as this is his third appearance, as well as an aversion to stairs. And I can still outrun him. Say hello to Mark Hill, a blues musician from New Zealand, which is why we're recording this episode in the middle of a Thursday afternoon instead of the evening like normal people. Thanks a lot, Hill. Appreciate it. And Johnny Blaze, a fellow cigar aficionado, motorcyclist, and a certified hair farmer from the looks of him. I think the Adams family's cousin-it. I'm really dating myself here, but I know John's old enough to get that reference.
I can appreciate that.
Yes. Welcome, panel, to this Ask Me Anything.
G'day, great to be here.
I'm already scared.
Yeah, me too, because you didn't say anything right away when I gave the introduction.
Do we need to sign a non-disclosure agreement?
Oh, you didn't get yours. Okay. Well, no. The other two guys, they're looking pretty confident, but we're leaving you to hang out to dry there. So, and no PBRs this time. So you're telling us that you're doing this completely sober?
Yes.
Oh, we're in trouble. I think we're in a little bit of trouble. All right. So I gave you something off the top, but how about just a quick round table to introduce yourselves to our audience for today, and any one of you guys can start.
Okay, well, Kia ora, Morena, because it's the morning here in New Zealand. I'm Mark Hill, blues musician from New Zealand. Been a Satanist now for the last sort of 10, 15 years. Thoroughly enjoy the Neutral Wisdom podcast and all the great information that comes out of it. And very, very pleased to be here again amongst this esteemed group of people.
Oh, boy. Okay. Esteemed. You hear that, Luthold? You're esteemed already. He doesn't know you at all.
I've heard him.
I think he's trying to say I'm a steamed vegetable.
Yeah. Oh, yes. And the tone has been set. As long as we don't go down the road of wheelchair fetishes again, which I'm still traumatized over, we should be okay. But you know what? With an Ask Me Anything, it may come up, or knowing you'll volunteer it. So I'm a little bit concerned about where this is going to go. Before we come to you, before we come to you, I want to just touch base with John here because we already know about Robert. He's going to give us more than we ever wanted. So, John, welcome and tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Johnny Blaze. Been a Satanist since I was 15, so I guess it's been 35 years now. I just sent in for my membership today. It just felt like it's about time. I run a cannabis dispensary here in Ontario, Canada. Play bass on the side and ride my Harley to keep my even keel.
Very nice. And you just made a brother for life in Mark Hill over there in New Zealand who, except for the lack of hair, you guys could be the same person.
I'm just another bass playing Satanist.
Yeah. Why are there so many? What is it about bass? Right? Like I picked it because I thought it was easy, and then I learned the hard way that it wasn't. But man,
Right?
every single one seems to be a bass player, except Mark. He's multi-talented. But yeah, I did a gig this past weekend, posted it up, and another bass player. Yeah, all right, whatever.
Because it's downright sexy. That's what it is, guys. There's
That's
no
exactly it.
Well, looking at this group, yes, I have to agree 100%.
And another biker as well, a bass playing biker.
Well, Robert's on wheels, though. I mean, he's
Yes.
kind of there.
Yes.
Yes.
I guess now it's my turn to ruin the show.
Yes, sir.
I'm not a bass player. I usually just play with myself. You said, of course, I would bring the fetishes up. That's what she said. I guess I have to do an introduction again, huh?
It doesn't have to be anything super formal because you've been on twice and we're all tired of listening to you, but tell us what you think you need to.
I would like to apologize to everyone listening to me for the first time because I'm likely going to ruin the show.
Oh, there he goes, raising the bar again.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. I have a question for Johnny Blaze.
Yeah, man.
Does that come from the original Ghost Rider comic book by any chance?
I was named after him. Yep.
I thought so. See, I'm not just a metalhead, I'm also a comic book nerd. And I have the hearing loss to account for being a metalhead too. If it's too loud, you're too fucking old.
Uh-oh. Then for three of us on this panel, it's too loud. Because you're actually the young punk out of this group, believe it or not.
Say that, and I was born in the Paleolithic era. Come on now. They thawed me out, shaved me down, taught me how to speak. Doesn't always work.
You could be a relative of John's, actually. Looking at John, he's
Hopefully not in the inbred variety, right?
I'll look it up after.
Coming to New Zealand, all inbred down here, mate.
I don't hear any banjo twanging in the background, so I think we're safe.
Funny you should say that. I'm staring at my banjo right now.
something about banjo picking inbreds. Okay, all right. Well, I think I want to just, before this gets away from me even further than it already has, let's get to the reason that we're here, which is the AMA or the Ask Me Anything. So I have a list of questions here from all over the place and covers a variety of different topics. I picked the best ones and here we are. So just remember, there are no filters, no edits. Say anything you want. We want the man perspective on things, which is why people have asked these questions. The more you talk, the less I have to, which will be great, and everyone will really appreciate that. So before we get started, any questions from you guys?
Yes, I have one, and that is how many questions are about the wheelchair fetish you want to avoid?
I took all of those ones out, so not a one.
A funny side note, the website no longer exists, and no, I did not run it. But there was a disabled fetish site once upon a time called gimps.gonewild.com. And all of the models had all kinds of different disabilities.
Mark Hill, you can Google it later because I'm not having that in my search history at all.
No way, man.
So
You have to explain enough to Miss Wiz. Let's leave something off the table.
Yes,
leave
please.
something.
Well, as awkward as this is, here comes the first question. And I'm terrified, but it was the perfect question to start out with. Gentlemen, does size matter? Number 2, do you worry about the size of your penis? And number 3, why do you always try to stick it into everything?
Right.
Ooh.
Oh, go on then. I'll go second.
I'll make it the most awkward. Does size matter? Why do you think I'm really in a wheelchair? Fucking thing throws my center of gravity off. I don't think that size matters. I think as guys, our egos say, well, yes, it does, because we want our partners to scream and think we're a Greek god in the bed. But I think what matters more is if a man knows how to please their partner, regardless of the size and the girth and everything else. Now, why do we stick it in everything? If it looks like a hole and we can make it fit, we will. We are men. That is what we do.
Penetrate the world, as Bob Johnson says.
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
Mark, what do you think?
Well, totally agree. And it's all about, it's not what you got, it's what you do with it, especially when it comes to your partner. Now, I'm a little bit sort of rotund, so as my wife says, I've got a bit of a veranda over the toy shop.
That's a dinky do, because your belly sticks out farther than your dinky do. That's what that
Well,
is.
I can't see it. That's the problem. It's not so much that I always have to go out for a second opinion. And why do we stick it in everywhere? We're blokes. That's what we're there for. I mean, I'd hate to see what Krispy Kreme used to put the holes in their donuts, but yeah. Because if you use your teeth to bite down on the edge of a pie, what do you put a hole in the donut with? But now it's what you do with it, and it's what you do. And the least to worry about it, the better, mate. Just get on with it.
Wow, and we can only go up from here. So,
So
John,
Yeah.
one of the other reasons that I brought you on here is you're bisexual.
Yes, sir.
So now, how does this question hit for you? So you can actually answer this question from both sides of the fence, which I thought was a really cool angle to take from it. So does it matter to you? Does it matter about your partner? If that's the case, where do you stand on that?
Well, see, being bisexual and both partner and I being lifestylers, we found this conversation comes up way more often than I ever thought it would. Apparently, as long as you've got 4 inches or more so you can get it in, then everybody's fine. It's, can you use it? And are you communicating with whomever you're playing with to find out, are you actually doing anything for them? Or are they just playing it up to stroke your ego? Other than that, why do we stick it in everything? Oh gosh, it's pretty. I think it goes the same with why we grab a hold of it from almost day one of being born. It's there. It's something to play with. We can't stop ourselves.
Because we can. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Okay. I have to say, well, not that I'm doing anything other than sitting here, but when Robert asked John the question, my mind was like, Jesus Christ, how many double entendres are you going to use?
That's why I'm hosting the show. And I don't have to answer the questions. I just have to host the show.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
You
Also,
have to answer too. It's only fair.
now, if we can get an episode where Miss Wiz has to ask you the questions, that could be cool.
Yeah, you're not helping, John. Oh, what? Yeah, John, you're fading out. Okay, so everybody here says size doesn't matter. But what about like in the locker room? What about the old adage of, peeing off the end of the dock with the big boys? If you see someone with a huge unit, does it intimidate you or anything? Do you measure up to other men, or do you not really worry about it?
Well, I have a sort of a similar story because I did 30 years of martial arts before my knees went, and one of it was judo, and I actually won British Heavyweight Championship when I was younger. And I remember being in the locker room, and a guy I eventually beat in the final was there stripped off, and martial arts, there's a lot of Japanese decorum around it. So there's certain things you don't do, but he's parading himself around saying, check this out, guys, and all that. And I kicked his ass in the final. and pinned him down and everything. And as I got up, I said, having a big donger doesn't make you a good fighter, bro. I'm also a great believer, never compare yourself to others, always be the best you can be. And if you're happy with how you are and whatever you're doing with your partner, and John touched on it really well, it's all about communication, doing the right thing, then fine. A guy could be hung like a donkey, right? I really don't care. It's your thing, man, and you do it. But to parade it around and start slapping people in the face with it, unless you enjoy that kind of thing, it's like musicians, eh? Like, I'm a better bass player. Who cares, man? Be the best you can be. Everybody else can follow on.
Yeah.
But as I said to my partner, it's like, I do the pile driver thing. I've only got a 2-inch dick, but I've got 150 kilos to push it in with. So there you go.
Physics.
All about physics. Pile driving, bro.
You're a bloody legend, as they say in your area of the world. All right. Any other input on that, or can we please leave this one alone?
Well,
Oh, no.
here we go, right?
Yeah, buckle in. Okay.
You knew it was coming.
I did.
I'm not stimulated enough for that, but as far as other men's size, I don't care. I'm not sucking it. I'm not stroking it. I'm happy with what I have. And everyone that's been with me has not complained. They don't like what I say when we're finished. And I didn't mention this to you when I was on with Zach, Robert, so you're gonna cringe. You gentlemen have all heard, once you go black, you never go back, right?
Oh, no.
So I tell my partners, once you go gimp, you walk with a limp.
Reverend Robert Luthold, everyone. He's here all week. Tip your fish, try your waitress. Yeah.
And I've proven it every time.
I never really worried much about it, just because of the fact, like, when I was younger, sure, but that's because, like, we kept being shown, like, I don't know, porn stars and guys in Playgirl with, like, these 10-inch dongs. And I'm like, wait a second. So I eventually met up with a friend of mine, and he would walk around the apartment, didn't give a damn. And I looked at him, I'm like, dude, does that thing ever hit fully hard? He goes, if it does, I literally get woozy and pass out. And it was like, oh, wow. Then talked to his girlfriend, and she goes, oh, no. I'm constantly on top because I have to control that thing. If it hits my cervix, it's fucking game over. I'm not doing it. That's when I realized size doesn't fucking matter, because if you can't get all of it hard without passing out, or two, you're hurting your partner, what's the fucking point of having something that's the size of a cricket bat?
But that's the porn industry, though, isn't it? I mean, they have to project that. I mean, I say to people, I can make my dong 10 inches long by folding it in half. But that's the porn industry. That's the whole sort of graphics of it all, And you're right, when you're young, saying, "Oh, check this guy out." But that's, like you say, in the real world, that can be really uncomfortable. It can be bloody dangerous as well.
Well, if it's as big as a cricket bat, what you do is you invent a position called the wide world of sports.
I just can't follow that up with anything. No. I really can't. Now I beg, can we please be done with this one?
Yes.
Okay.
ESPN aren't buying into this one.
Wow. Can't wait
One way to serve up donuts.
Oh, place to hang your face cloth in the shower. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait to see the ratings on this one, let me tell you. All right, moving on. Gentlemen, what turns you on and what turns you off?
What turns me off is just stupidity. Humor is great, but stupidity is ridiculous. And I'm thinking of when you look on social media and you get these young chicks saying what they expect and all that kind of old stuff. It's like, come on, get away from your TikTok or whatever and get into the real life. It's like you're not making yourself any way attractive by bang, I want this, I want that, and do this and do that and do the other. You're no different than a bloke thinking he has to be a porn star. So this is from a sort of heterosexual perspective. I think what turns me on is connection. It's like when you really can connect with someone, you may be chatting, talking away, and then all of a sudden the conversation turns around and you get talking about sex and that kind of thing. And, it gets the conversation gets quite intimate, and then all of a sudden you start walking the talk, if you know what I mean. I like that. I sort of like that kind of thing, because I'm a blather, I'm a talker, I'm a sort of a musician talker, but I'm not one of these, hey baby, because I'm not, that's not where I come from. So, well, Lord knows I've tried, but and the
Gold
restraining
chains,
order,
open shirt.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, exactly. But I sort of like, the sort of the meeting, the greeting, the talking, and sometimes, we talk, and the conversation gets more spicy, and you start sort of talking about what you'd like to experience, and then carry that forward to the next level. That's my personal thing anyway.
I'm looking in fear at the upper left corner of my screen. So let's go to John.
There we go. So, guys, I didn't have a type physically. However, once I hit my 30s and onwards, I realized I didn't give a damn. The person could be like 900 pounds or 90 pounds. I didn't care. It was one, confidence without being cocky, a sense of humor, including being able to laugh at yourself, and we're done. Just I will talk to you, we'll be friends, we'll be playmates, what the hell ever. But if you're like arrogant, or as I'm sure we all can agree, somebody who is just fucking stupid, I need, it's in our best interest that I walk away right now. Stupidity is the most painful fucking thing.
Well, it's a sin, isn't it? I mean, we're
Right?
not going to, are we?
All right.
Look at him smiling up there. All right. Okay.
Here we go. I'm going to hit you with a curveball for once. I'm going to be serious. No, I have not borrowed Robert F. Kennedy's brain worms. I'm actually going to be serious. For me, intellect is the first major attracting factor. Because you know what? We all get attracted by naked flesh. That turns everyone's crank in this conversation. But to me, if I can't have a conversation with depth, there's nothing there. I mean, sure, you can make me come, but don't expect me to hang around. Eventually, passion cools, and if you don't have anything else beyond that, why are you here? Aside from your parents fucking bareback, why are you here? If I can't get something from someone on an intellectual or a humorous level, and much like everyone else has said, if they're as dumb as a box of rocks at half price, I want something to do with them.
Why would you bother? That's my point.
Yeah.
Well, what's neat is you said everybody's attracted to naked flesh. Okay, you're right. You're right. I think to a large extent we are. Okay, so now there's 3 of us in this group who are over 50 and the young punk over there in the chair. So, a question from me, not even on the list, just a question from me. Us old buggers here, what do you think of guys our age now going for the very young partners? And the reason I ask this is I have a buddy who's just recently divorced in our age group, and he says, I don't go after the young ones. I said, why not? He says, they make it seem like they're doing you a favor if they let you have sex with them. And everybody's nodding, right? Like, I don't think that these young things have enough life experience, for starters. Second, my wife will tell you, I could bring her down here now. I want the older ones. I prefer the older ones because, the older ones will turn you inside out, for starters. If we could keep up with them at this point, given our advanced age. But what do you guys think of these May-December type relationships that seem to be prevalent in our age group when we get divorced?
I'll just sit back here and pretend to look cute while the rest of you guys talk about this one.
Oh, you're a real prince. Thanks a lot, you punk.
But it's like I said earlier, there's this TikTok generation. There's no substance to it. I mean, yes, all right. I mean, it's a given that you see a good-looking young chick running around, and it's like, poor, balmy, have some of that. But that's about as far as it goes. But there's no substance to these younger girls. That, like you quite rightly said, they're doing you a favour. I'm not interested in that. There's no connection there. Like I say, an older, more mature woman knows what she wants, can communicate on all levels, and will enjoy herself. And you're not going to be, struggling to try and make this person happy just for the sake of it. I don't get it. I mean, going around with these young chicks, and let's face it, guys. I mean, a lot of these, I'm not saying all of them, but it's if you're a bit older and they think they might have a few bucks in your back pocket that you might be able to splay out on them, and you get all that kind of crap that goes on. But if an older fella like us scores a young chick and they're happy and they're doing it and she's knocking his socks off, go for your life, bro. Personally, I've been out in social, even this festival I was playing at the weekend, and there was a load of young chicks there, and one of the guys, the man said, "Oh, I bet you wouldn't mind." I said, "No, I wouldn't go touch with a barge pole because I'm not interested. It just doesn't bother me. Give me a woman with deep heat back rub and a bloody walking stick any day of the week. See what she does with it."
Yeah.
Do you find, John, that young dudes are like that as well? Or is it a youth thing?
It is. Like, there is just something to be said for, to use an all-round term, life experience. If they've had a very vanilla life and everything, once they hit that point in life where, I don't know, kids are out or maybe they're divorced, they suddenly want to try everything, and they will give you a run for your money in your own right. But the younger ones, they haven't lived enough. They're intentionally, unintentionally shallow and vain as hell. And yeah, given enough Viagra, they can give you a ride that you'll be able to say, "Dear Penthouse." But that's the thing. Basically, you're saying, "Hey, let me show you this." She's like, "No, no, no." And the guys are the fucking same. I'm just like, no. Mid 40s and up, that is the shit that you remember for the rest of your life, because they're in the same generation as you and everything. And it just seems to bleed over into everything, including sexuality.
Well, I find for myself being older now, quit smirking over there in the corner, Rob. We're a lot less
I'm not smirking because we had this discussion a couple of days on your profile. You're still a Ute.
Yes, I'm a Ute.
You're old.
Yes, that's true. But what I find is that we're a whole less non-threatening. Like, we're very non-threatening to younger people now, like younger ladies, unless, like my daughter says I'm a creepy old guy, which I don't think I'm creepy. But it's the gut reaction by someone in their 20s or 30s is, "Oh, this guy, he could be my dad. I guess with this beard, I could be their grandpa." But it's not a threatening thing, right? Like, we don't come across like that anymore. So, you're kind of looking at the midlife crisis thing and seeing all the dudes in the convertibles with the no hair or whatever it is, and trying to pick up on these young people. And it's just the kind of thing that makes me feel dirty just talking about it.
Well, my wife and I were out at a biker bar just a couple of towns over the other day. One of these, he was a prospect, and I guess he was trying to show off for the group he was trying to get into. He's in his 30s, but he looks like he's almost older than me. Like, he walks up to this girl who couldn't have been more than 23 tops. He tries all his best lines, and she just looks at him, puts her hand on her chest, and goes, "Oh, that's so sweet, but I don't have daddy issues," and walks away without missing a beat. The whole bar just collapsed laughing. Like, it was painful laughing, the best kind. Oh my God.
What about you, Robert? Do you go for the young ones? Do you go for the older ones?
Honestly, I try to keep any prospective partner within 5 to 10 years of my own age, just so I can have that connection where I don't feel awkward. I'm 47. I'm going to be 48 this year, so I'm not that far behind you guys. I mean, there is a gap. You guys call me a young punk, and I kind of still am, but shit, with the amount I've had packed in the years that I've had in my life, you wouldn't be able to tell, because I just don't have the tolerance. I'm gonna be 48 this year, and I already feel like Clint Eastwood in Gran Torino.
It's terrifying that Robert Luthold is our school of sober second thought in this conversation. Is it just me? I'm just terrified right now.
I just finished reading Blanche Barton's "We Are Satanists" and like the pictures and everything. I wonder if we can all agree Satanist women are possibly the most gorgeous creatures I've ever seen, let alone listen to them talk and everything. They have a level of confidence and everything that is just instant stimulating.
Absolutely.
And about 99% of them, because there's the 1% that don't have it down yet, but their lesser magic is on point.
Once my wife read The Satanic Witch, I was fucked.
Ms. Wiz just got her red card, and
Beautiful.
is it possible to make someone more attractive? Well, yes, it is.
Yes.
But she was already pretty smoking to begin with, so and she's not in the room anywhere, so I'm saying this unprompted.
and we know, just you look at them and you're like, I've looked at my friends many a time, and they look at my wife, they look at me, they look at my wife, look at me. I'm like, I know. I am punching well above my weight class. I've known this for over 15 years. Trust me.
Aside from the financial reasons, I've always said I'll never get married because I don't breed well in captivity. And that's true.
Oh, boy.
But you're right what you say, that they do carry themselves in a very seductive way. And I mean, that's the satanic thing.
It's completely natural. It's like
that's right. It's not on, and you can tell, you can tell. And I met a couple from Australia at the festival again. There was something about them. And after we talked with fellow Satanists, but there was something about her. You couldn't take your eyes off her. And her whole conversation, her whole persona. She's confident, knows what she wants in life, is trying to be the best she can be, and just loves life for what it is. The material things are great, wonderful, great to have them. We all like a bit of greed and all that, a bit of lust. But, she's so grounded.
Can't we all agree that when a satanic witch wants to seduce you, the mental seduction is like 1,000,000 times stronger than the physical one?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Agreed. Yep.
100%.
Well, and that confidence, right? They're not going to put up with your shit either. And they're already on to you. So as an example, one of my other jobs, I'm a mediator. And as I was going through school and learning these skills, when I would argue with Ms. Wiz, she would catch on right away. So I'd say something in the argument. She'd go, "Don't you use that shit here. You're not in school." It's like, how do you know? But they do. They're just intuitive enough to know what you're doing, and they're not going to put up with your shit, which is, I love it. I think it's great because they call you out.
Or they can stop you dead in your tracks with just what I like to call the look. You almost wanted to stop and go, "I'm sorry, I don't know what I was thinking."
Yeah. The handbrake. And I also believe that every male Satanist should read The Satanic Witch.
100%.
I've come across a few that, "Oh, no, that's for women." I was like, no, mate. You haven't got it if that's your attitude. You've got to have it. That was the second book I read after the Satanic Bible.
Yep.
Was The Satanic Witch. I was like,
and I even took Magister Johnson's advice and went back and reread it and then reread his book. And it actually made even more sense to me. Both books.
Yeah. Massive light bulb goes on.
Yeah.
You had to know this was coming, Robert. You
I know.
had to know. Whenever I get in argument, I'm like, "What are you going to do? Break my leg to push me into traffic?" Ooh, what a threat that is.
Oh, boy. Okay. Last next question, I promise. All right. With regards to the act itself, how long should it last? Now, you've heard, like a rock star. That guy can go like a rock star. What's a rock star? What is it? An hour straight? Is it like Sting and the Zen thing? Is it 7 minutes in heaven? What is it? What is the optimal time period? And I'll bet you, no matter what your collective answers are, the ladies will have a different answer than you do.
Oh, yes.
They will. Absolutely, they will.
So from the men's perspective, what do you think the perfect, or how long it should last for?
About 15 minutes at best. I'm sorry, I'll be honest. Like after that, it's like I'm just throwing rope.
I would agree 100% with John, but sometimes it's like the right time is when it's like you sort of feel that we're okay. This is good. Let's maybe stop for a minute or something like that. If that it's however long feels comfortable for both of you. I think
once it's chafing, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of, it's what's comfortable for both of you. It's nice as a bloke to last long. I think what John's saying, I mean, that would be great. Sometimes it can go for that. Sometimes it can. If you're really, as we all know, lads, if you're really, really turned on, sometimes you pop your Brussels in a heartbeat, right? It's just a block. But
Okay.
as long as you can say, well, let's get back on a horse and go again, then everybody's happy. If you do the right, but that's a great question, though, eh? It's a great. I think the girls should answer that, and then we should try and meet it. But I'm with you there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give some free unsolicited advice to everyone who is listening. Ladies, men, look, when you wake up in the morning, we might be hard. Please let us pee first. Before you start anything, let us pee first. We won't be able to do anything otherwise.
This has been a public service announcement from Robert Lutho. Oh, my goodness.
Before you move on, the ideal. Now, I'm going to share personal experience without getting too graphic. With my physical limitations, the woman has to be on top. Because, below the knees on down, it's like, I've got great upper body strength, but in my case, 15 to 20 minutes tops.
All right, so that's consensus, leaving me feeling woefully inadequate. But okay, regardless, another question. Have you ever faked it?
Yes.
Yes, same here. I was just curious if it was just me.
Yes.
I couldn't believe I pulled it off either. Like, but one time, and I realized, you know what? That's your one time. Like, you will never be able to do this again.
Same, 100%. 100% could be my twin brother. Yeah, absolutely. This was also. I'm never ever gonna fucking try that again. It's like the perfect bank job. You do it once and fucking walk away.
Well, I found the Jimmy helped a lot because you could just dispose of it discreetly and no one ever knows, right? So that's
exactly how I pulled it off.
Yes. Okay.
Pun intended.
So this is a thing. All right. I suppose we don't have to ask you up there in the corner if you've ever faked it, Robert.
That would kind of be impossible.
All right. I want to move on to stuff that is not making me feel so dirty. So, what do you like best about yourself?
I like the fact that I'm alive.
Well, every day above ground's a good day. I can't disagree with that.
I mean, I've gone through my history the last time I was on. So, I like the fact that I'm still here when I wasn't supposed to survive the night when I was born. And I like everything I've accomplished in the 47, nearly 48 years I've been on the planet. And you thought I was going to make everything a dirty joke.
Well, I just don't know how any of us is going to be able to top that, but we'll give it a try. John?
My unfilteredness. Like, literally, I don't care that the doctors sit there and go, it's the Asperger's. If it is, bless the Asperger's, because I am unfiltered as fuck. To a fault. I've literally wondered why many jobs I've kept as long as I did.
And what do you get out of being unfiltered like that? What does it do for you?
I don't end up being stressed about, I should have said this or everything, which I'm sure happens to all of us all the time. You think of the good stuff afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
And just like speaking my mind, it's literally like I feel attention that would have been there just exits the building. And I think it does wonders for my own mental health.
This is going to sound a little bit arrogant, but sod it. I'm amongst very esteemed people. The thing I like about myself is that I discovered Satanism and I discovered the philosophy and the life that it gives me and that the amount of joy that I get out of life being the best I can be through the philosophy. And then saying that I look at the people on the gravy train, the treadmill, the humdrums, you're not doing anything with your life. And I think I feel so much better that I'm me and not you, because I could easily be you. I could have easily got on that gravy train or that treadmill, but I just love the fact that I suppose Satanism has made me the man I am today, which is incredibly happy, incredibly creative, and just really open to everything. I'm not closed off. I'm just a really happy guy. And that's what I like about myself.
So there's pride and sense of accomplishment in all of the answers. And for me, I've got to kind of echo what John says, but I always come at it from this angle, which puts off the normies. What do I like best about myself? I'm fucking awesome. And I'll tell you why I say that. Because I spent my whole life being told I was a piece of shit. And once I found out about Satanism, once I became a Satanist, I realized it was okay to say that. And what's amazing is when you say that to people, they don't know how to take it.
Yep.
And I wrote about it in my first book where I said that. I said to a guy, I don't know what his problem with me is. I'm awesome. And the guy looked at me and I said, you know what, man? If more people could say that about themselves, this world would be a lot different, right? Like, why dwell on the past and why dwell on your mistakes? I'm having fun and I'm doing a lot of awesome shit. What's not to like, really? I mean,
And I
the
think
three of you are here. What does that tell me? You know?
You need more friends.
Amen.
You need to get out more.
And I think that's what drew us to Satanism. Like, look at Anton LaVey himself.
Yeah.
That man, just in his writings alone, anything he put out was unfiltered, unfettered. Just, this is me. If you don't like it, there's the fucking door.
Yep.
And to me, that meant everything. When you have a mother that's trying to shelter you from everything, a father who was a deplorable human being, to say the least. So you're being pulled in both directions. You find the Satanic Bible, you read it, and you're like, holy shit, I think I just found my people.
And I will kind of put a side note here. People keep wondering how Anton LaVey would think about how things are today, how society is today. If you want to know what he would think about how things are today, read The Devil's Notebook. Read Satan Speaks. It's all there. Same thing like with George Carlin. Same thing.
While you're at it, I mean, Anton LaVey's works were brilliant, but read Robert Shirley, read Robert Ing, read these people that have been inspired by LaVey and have come up and put their own writings out there. That, again, is inspiration for all of us. So, little plug for you there, Robert. But, you know, it's excellent work, you know. And the thing with Satanists is that we get these works in our hands and it gives us a sense of joy that we're reading this, that we're absorbing this, I believe. You know, that you're saying, now, this is great. This is one of my kind of people, like, put themselves out, and I'm benefiting from this.
Especially Robert's chapter on conflict. Really good.
Thank you.
God.
I've been teaching that for years. So it was the first time I sat down and transcribed that into an essay. So I'm glad that it reached some people. That's great. Cheap plug for the book. For Wisdom, Contemplations of a Satanic Warlock, now available on Amazon.com. Anyway.
Good lad.
Moving to the next question, kind of related to this one. If you could change anything about yourself, what would it be?
This is the great question that they ask you in interviews. What's your biggest, what's the thing you need to work on? For me, if I could change it, and I am working on it, I have a tendency to rush. I have a tendency to go charging in sometimes. Well, I'll have a new project, straight in, bang. And I think what the philosophy has taught me is take a step back, take a third eye view of everything, weigh up all the perspectives of what you're doing here, because you may charge into a project with the greatest of intentions and then run out of steam before it's even started. You know, anyone will say to me, oh, let's do a collaboration on some music, or let's go off and write a film together or something like that. Like, bang, and I go flying into it. Well, hang on a minute, I haven't quite thought this over. So that's one thing I'd like to change.
What about you two guys? Are you both perfect?
Oh, God, no. If you ask my wife, it comes back to the unfilteredness. She'll look at me and go, honey, time and place, for the love of God. And I'm like, I don't like making her feel uncomfortable. She accepts me, but at the same time, I watch her sit there and cringe when she's like, come on, just shut up for a second. Aside from her point of view on that one, no, for me, it's more of a physical thing. I've always had a problem with my weight. I want to be able to spend as much time on this planet either pleasuring or pissing off people. And I need to lose some of this midsection poundage to keep that going.
Before I get into what I would change, yes, there is something I would change.
Realize, though, I'm going to cut you off here, because before you answer any question, always look like that cat that swallowed the canary. Like, always. Like, if evil had a face, that would be it. You're like an imp. You're like an imp. It's awful. I get scared when I see that look.
Take that, Tweety Bird.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, go ahead. Let us have it. What would you change about yourself, Robert?
Oh no, come on. I am sweet and innocent and demure and would never do anything wrong.
With
I'm sorry, was that out loud?
with a filter and nothing but class, and it's all coach, but it's class nonetheless.
Luckily, God doesn't exist, or I would have gotten hit by lightning from that one. Anyway, as far as what I would change, I would actually take a step back and take the time to address the mental and emotional issues I have. I would have addressed them sooner in my life so I didn't hurt people that I genuinely care about. Because I realize and I know that I fucked up and I've hurt people I genuinely care for. You know, when I was younger, I would always be like, oh, I wish I wasn't disabled. I wish I was normal. The older I've gotten, normal is a setting on a dryer. Okay? Normal is fucking boring. I embrace the fact that I'm hell on wheels, god damn it. I embrace that. And people that take the cheap shots and kind of attack my disability. I may be physically disabled, but somehow they're living without a brain. I don't know how they do it. And I'm not talking about politicians exactly, but we can lump those people in there too.
All right. Well, moving on. What was your favorite toy as a child? And no, your penis doesn't count, Robert.
Damn. Now I got to come up with something else.
Yes, you do. Please. I'm going to start because I'm excited. I've been looking for one of these for years. Maybe I'm setting the tone. It was my Evel Knievel stunt cycle. God damn, that was the greatest thing. You know, he would always fly off. It was fantastic. I love that. And now you can still buy them. I'm trying to get Ms. Wiz to buy me one, but we'll get there. But that was it by far, the Evel Knievel stunt cycle.
When you said it can't be your penis, down in New Zealand, it's your brother's penis. But
wow. Okay, that's a Johnny Blaze joke right there. That's got.
Mine was, I loved the Bond films when I was a kid, the James Bond films. And mine was the Bond car, the Lotus Esprit, the underwater one for Spy Who Loved Me. I just love that. And that next to my $6 Million Man. Do you remember
That's
that?
where I was going next. I love that doll, man. That was great.
Right.
His bionic arm and shit. It was fantastic.
So, yeah, and if I could find one of those, God, I've been looking. But, yeah, that was mine.
Mine was, I guess the category is called like super robots. Like there was Guy King, they called it Voltron over here. It's called Go Lion and stuff. So these like larger than life like robots just before Transformers.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And at one point there was these ones out that I never got, and it's kind of my holy grail called Shogun Warriors.
I love the Shogun Warriors, man.
Oh my god. I had the usuals, you know, like Star Wars when it first came out. I got the little gift card with just the original figures on it and had to wait to get the figures.
Grandma worked at Eaton's, so the first 1977 I got it all because she had access to everything. And you know, you like a kid, you play with all that shit in the sandbox, and it's worthless now.
Otherwise, the last one I remember that I wouldn't mind picking up again, I don't think they're that expensive, were called the Biker Mice from Mars.
I'm familiar with the cartoon.
Yes, the cartoon, yeah.
Okay.
And it was like that. It was Ninja Turtles. I was like, yeah, they're cool. But then seeing these mice on like a cruise or a tour and a sport bike and everything, and their whole lives were around hot dogs, root beer, and riding their motorcycles. I'm just like, okay, just sign me up.
Something to aspire to. Yes.
Yeah.
Longer than the apparent 15 minutes of fun, which would be the standard in New Zealand, I guess.
Other than that, Stretch Armstrong. I did that until eventually the plastic just split and this weird purple goo started coming out, and I just freaked out like, what the hell is this?
So I think what's happening here is I'm getting an idea for a show where we need to have a bunch of middle-aged dudes come on and talk like they're all in grade school again, because that's where this went.
Yeah.
We got to do a show on classic toys. Before we keep going that way, I'm going to go to Robert, just to get your take on this one.
I noticed you were like avoiding getting to me.
A little.
Uh,
My
so
dick, Betcha Armstrong.
there are quite a few toy lines, and I bet you John remembers this. The Marvel Secret Wars toy line that they came
Oh.
out, during the first comic series.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
need the whole line. I just want the black costume Spider-Man inbox. That's the only
Oh,
one
shit.
I'm gonna get.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I know that's gonna cost a lot. And the original run of the Kenner Superpowers toys too.
Okay.
Remember those? They always came with mini comic books. Every single one of them.
Johnny can relate. We used to have to cross the border to buy those.
Shit,
You
yeah.
run down to Target and stock up on that stuff. You couldn't get them where we're from. So
I was so thankful to have relatives that lived in Florida because I could just go into the Sears Christmas wish book and go, this. That was one thing I will say. Back then, the Americans got all the really good shit.
they did.
That's something I think we can all relate to, like the J.C. Penney catalogs and the Sears wish books. Every year when they came out, looking at the toy sections, and for me, well, the video game sections too.
Never did get the 8-foot long G.I. Joe aircraft carrier.
I had friends who had that. It was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I got to hit the Canadians, though. Sears, yeah. J.C. Penney, yeah. Consumers Distributing here in Canada. They had all the best shit, man. It was great. That was the one we lived for every year.
You could not feel more important as a kid filling out just a little card and you're handing it over and receiving something back. You suddenly felt like you were a grown-up just doing that simple little thing. It was like
brilliant, wasn't it? The UK was Zodiacs. The place was Zodiac.
Oh, yeah.
And you'd fill that out, yeah.
Well, now, I think there's definitely a toy show in the future for this program.
Now, there is one toy I wanted from the Masters of the Universe line that my parents...
Was it Fisto? It was Fisto.
No.
Okay, I was just guessing.
my parents refused to get it for me because they didn't want me to ruin the carpet. I wanted the
Fisto?
slime pit. I wanted the
slime pit.
Yeah.
With Fisto?
No.
Okay. Now, leading off from that favorite toy, today, what's the most treasured object you own? And no, your penis doesn't count.
Damn it. My 2014 Road King.
Okay, fair enough. I can see that.
The Road King was like a life goal. It was my dream bike. Got it, and now that is my baby.
My 1964 Rickenbacker.
Oh, the jangly. Nice.
Oh, I'm jealousy. Oh, my God. No. Envy. There we go.
Envy. Yes.
Good lad.
Okay. I have two. One is my copy of Rabid Crow's combined Satanic Bible, Satanic Rituals that I got signed back in 2016 at the Conclave. And the other is my few Mayhem albums that I got signed by the band.
All right. This one's interesting, I guess. Out of all the horror movie characters, which one would you like to have dinner with? And what would you talk about?
For me, it would have to be the guy from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Leatherface.
Leatherface.
And I would love to have dinner with him because I think he'd probably knock up a good steak to begin with. But
just don't ask where it came from.
That's right.
What would you discuss? Safe use of power tools.
yeah. Chopping up firewood efficiently.
That's right.
How did you get to that place, man? How did you get to that place? Where did that all come from, man? And it'd be questions like, what's your favorite music? What's your favorite color? What's your favorite toy? Just to try and dig into this guy. The simple, the sort of simple, what about you type questions. That would be me.
John?
Pinhead.
Yes. I have to be on board with Pinhead. I'm a terrible human being. I have just gotten into the Hellraiser stuff.
Oh, man, so good.
My wife had bought me a book called The Damnation Game by Clive Barker. And I loved it. And I thought, I've got to check out The Hellbound Heart because I knew it was the first one and that's where it came from. And I have become obsessed with those movies,
Yes.
with that series.
Do yourself a favor, though. If you like the Hellbound Heart, read the Scarlet Gospels, because that's Barker's sequel, and he ends the mythology.
I didn't know that.
And it also features Harry D'Amore.
Oh, my
And
reading list just got a lot
Yeah,
longer.
no kidding.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
And in that book, you learn Pinhead's real name. He does not like being called Pinhead. He prefers being called the Hell Priest.
Well, what would you ask him, John?
I think because the whole premise is based around not only pleasure but pain, I would get into like the deepest philosophical discussion with him about the whole concepts of pleasure versus pain and all that. Because that's what drew me into not only the movies but the books, was the fact that he says, like, we've got such sights to show you, and yet everybody ends up fucked up in the end. And I'm just like, okay, so what's the pleasure part? But then, at the same time, I look at it and I'm like, what if the pleasure's in the pain and vice versa? And I get so much in my head about this that I'm like, oh man, I would love to sit down to supper with that guy and just discuss this at length.
I never understood, what happened to the character of Frank at the end of the book and the end of the movie, because that's all Frank wanted, right? He wanted to go experience pleasures like he never had, and they end up hooking him in all parts of his body and ripping him apart.
Yeah.
I don't see a whole lot of pleasure in that, but that's not my bag. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it would be an interesting conversation for sure.
Like, I'm not going to yuck your yum, Frank, but whoa.
Now, I have two answers, and it kind of goes back to the Leatherface answer, but you're going to see that you definitely need to check your meals, because I would like to have dinner with Dr. Hannibal Lecter.
You get a nice Chianti out of it.
That's right.
Add some fava beans.
And
Yes.
some brain food.
Oh, yeah.
I would like to discuss not physically, but the human mind and what makes people tick. Now, my second choice of dinner guest would be the Nightbreed from Midian, which is from Clive Barker's novella Cabal.
Yes.
Because the great thing is, in Cabal, the monsters are actually the good guys, and the normal people are the assholes.
Well, if I had to answer that question, I would have to go the corny route, but one of my favorite movies, I would probably choose to have dinner with John Milton from The Devil's Advocate. That's the cheap and easy answer, but it's true. I absolutely love that movie, but it was the way that that character was able to manipulate everything and everyone around him, whether through supernatural means or not. And I think that would be a real interesting conversation.
That character is a masterclass in lesser magic.
And that's one of the
Absolutely.
reasons I picked him, right? It's lesser magic's kind of my thing. I really, really study a lot about it. And that character is the epitome of what lesser magic is. That actually leads into my next question, which is brilliant. If you had to pick a satanic mascot other than the Baphomet, who or what would you choose? Robert,
Well,
I think you're the de facto expert on this panel for this. So who would you choose, or what would you choose other than the Baphomet?
Myself.
Brilliant. Brilliant. That's the perfect answer as far as I'm concerned. But not you. What would you choose?
Fuck, you're gonna make me think. I can.
All right, we'll come back after we talk to someone who's more prepared.
I can smell the smoke from here.
Oh, I do know. Magister Bill M.
Okay, I'm trying to picture Magister Frost making Magister Bill M medallions, but it could be done, I guess.
Are you more thinking Satan Bear?
Oh, that's a good point. I'm going to go with yes for both.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair
Yeah.
enough.
Satan
Why-
Bear as the icon. Ever since I discovered Satan's Splain, I love the way he explains everything. I also love his Homer Simpson voice whenever it comes out, and he's for
Petit
morons.
Bill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Petit Bill. Yeah,
Yep.
I've had to deal with the same shit.
Look, I mean, I that's a great question, but after listening to you guys, I'd go with Satan Bear because it signifies the fact that we do have a sense of humor, much to the ignorance of people who think we're all hissy goth type people. You know, we all dress in black and hiss at each other. I only do that on a Sunday. I'd go with Satan Bear. I think that'd be a great match. I think it sort of wraps it up and says, look. The other thing I would say is for me personally would be a guitar, right? Because that to me says creativity and also magic. Because I had a great discussion with the guy that said, when you write a song, there's a point when that song doesn't exist. You write it and then it exists as if by magic. So that's the sort of that's a personal thing. But definitely as a global thing, definitely I'll go with Satan Bear. Definitely.
Okay.
All right.
Robert, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
So since I can't use myself, either Garfield or Bugs Bunny.
Bugs Bunny, I see. Bugs Bunny, I see.
I see Bugs Bunny.
Yeah, Bugs Bunny. Now Garfield is sarcasm, gluttony,
And sloth.
And sloth, yeah.
Yeah. And we all know what Bugs Bunny is.
He's a dirty little bastard.
You're not talking about when he dresses up like a girl bunny, are you, Robert?
Ooh.
Hey. No one judges anyone on this. Okay? No one kink shaming here.
It's his lesser magic, and yes, no kink shaming. I agree.
Lesser magic, wile and guile, sarcasm, the whole package.
Yes.
They're both excellent examples of pride as well, because both characters have absolute confidence in themselves. Garfield doesn't care how fat he is. He is still the greatest thing on earth. And Bugs Bunny, you can he walks through life with a don't give a fuck attitude.
And I mean, look at how brutally and how quickly Bugs Bunny gets his revenge. Usually against either Elmer Fudd or the Tasmanian Devil.
Well, I think in the interest of time, I've got one more here. And this will be pretty interesting to see what your answers are. What annoys you most about other Satanists?
I haven't seen this at all in the Church of Satan private group, Facebook group, right? Because that's unfortunately, because of where I am, that's my communication with other Satanists through that, which is great. That's fine. Social media. What annoys me the most about them, and is when you get on those that have the attitude that I'm a better Satanist than you. You can't say that. I know more about it than you do. I think that kind of attitude sucks. If you call yourself a Satanist, okay, you may not agree with someone, but to portray yourself out to say that I'm a better Satanist than you is just a shit argument, okay? Because it's personal. You are your own. So no one's better than anyone. You're your own person.
Mm-hmm.
But there are these people that like to stomp around because maybe they got a like from someone from the Satanic Temple or something and think now all of a sudden they're this big bloody or they went and got an Anton LaVey beard and haircut. I think all of a sudden they're in. I just hate that kind of. I call them plastic Satanists, and they annoy me to the point that I won't even look. They're plastic Satanists. They'll melt in the heat, mate. And so I don't even bother engaging with them because you're just there's no point. So that's what. Should I even call them Satanists? That's the other question that drops in there, but. That's what annoys me the most. I saw this a lot with paganism. I'm a better pagan than you. I know that. Shut up, mate. You're a dickhead. So that's my take on it.
Perfect, John.
Yeah, when they're like that, or their solipsism is running rampant, even though you point out to them, it's like that's one of the biggest sins you can do as a Satanist.
Yeah.
And considering we're Satanists and we live for sin, that's saying something.
My honest pet peeve. And we've all been phase one. We've all done the ranting and raving, and we've all had these grand plans that fell through. But what is it with these people that have barely made a name for themselves that think they need to write a book?
Sorry, man.
Company accepted, okay? I want to make that clear. But I'm talking about these people that just get their red card. No one knows who they are. And they think they're going to write this book that's going to contribute to the satanic canon. Take a fucking seat. Like I said, present company accepted because I'm getting a copy of your book in the mail. But it's like, I had those dreams, I had those aspirations myself. So I speak from experience. But it's like, you don't need to write a book hoping that you get put into the canon. Just live your life as the best version of yourself you can. That's what being a Satanist is about. Anton LaVey wrote books. Magus Gilmore wrote a book. Other members of the hierarchy have written books. You've written a book, Robert. You've written 2 books. And you're working on a 3rd one, apparently, because you put a 3rd finger up. At least you did me. But, I'm working on getting my poetry collection expanded and back in print. But the thing is, I have no dreams that this book is going to expand the canon. It's not, and it's not my job. My job is to be the best version of myself that I can be. That's it.
You create, you produce, and what happens, happens. And that's exactly the tack that I took. I said, I've got something to say. I'm going to say it. If people grab it, great. If they don't, well, I got this book to show for it. And that was literally my inspiration to do this. It wasn't out of a need to want to try to become part of a canon. It was, I got this to say. I think it's pretty cool. Let's put it in writing. Well, this is what happens when you get 4 satanic gentlemen to discuss things. It goes way off the rails, way fast. We all become little kids and we all get super excited. Unfortunately, I think this is the male perspective on the questions that were submitted. And I look forward to doing this with the panel of witches just to see how the questions line up. Yeah, I can't thank you guys enough for doing this today. Very, very much appreciated. And as I said, some of the things that we talked about today, there's future shows in that. So keep your schedules open, everybody except Mark Hill, because it's tomorrow for us. So screw you, Mark. We're not doing this again. But thank you for your time, gentlemen. I look forward to speaking with you again. Until the next time we're able to talk. Hail Satan.
Hail Satan.
And that's going to wrap it up for this episode of the Neutral Wisdom Podcast. I'd like to thank all of you for listening, and a huge thank you to our guests and all of you for joining us today. Please drop a like or comment down below. For questions or comments, you can email me directly at information@neutralwisdom.ca. You can listen to us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, and anywhere else you get your podcasts. A like and subscribe go a long way in getting this podcast out there. Check me out on Facebook under Robert Shirley, and check out Instagram at neutral_wisdom. And be sure to visit the website at neutralwisdom.ca. And don't forget, Neutral Wisdom, Contemplations of a Satanic Warlock, now available at Amazon in paperback, hardcover, and Kindle formats. Until next time, ever forward.
You have been listening to the Neutral Wisdom Podcast. For more information, email us at information.neutralwisdom.ca, Facebook under Robert Shirley, or Instagram at neutral_wisdom. Also check out our website at neutralwisdom.ca. Program copyrighted 2025. Devilish Gentlemen Enterprises.